cool. Okay, good.
What's up, old friend?
A great deal.
A great deal?
Yeah, sure.
Tell me about it. I like to know.
Okay. Well, first of all, this is kind of funny, and we can't even begin without talking about
Last
the
week,
beginning.
Yeah.
So
The beginning, it's not really the beginning, it's the rebirth. The beginning of the rebirth.
yeah, it was just kind of interesting because we hadn't sat down to do it in a really long time. We're in a completely strange location in that I've never been in the room before, right? Sitting, and usually I'm really comfortable when we do this, right? I feel it.
Yeah.
And I just felt so uncomfortable. And I remember telling God, I thought it was really shitty.
Was your ass itching that day?
No, I didn't like it, and I've never had that issue before in all the time we've done it.
Yeah, so we did a recording last week. We have it locked in storage. We might end up dropping some clips to then promote that we're back and that we're here to stay. We might drop a couple clips from that first episode, but since my good old partner, Mr. Feinstein here, didn't like it, I decided not to post it. I was ready to post it, but I feel like if this is a 50-50 type of thing we got here, it's not about me, it's not about him, it's about the we. So if he didn't like it, I didn't like it, and so I didn't post it, and you didn't see it. But I will give you some clips, and then hopefully when this one comes out, it'll probably be within the next couple of days, you'll already see the promotion that we're back starting to come out, starting to roll out. We'll drip feed it to you.
It was a quick learning lesson last week.
On getting comfortable.
To me, getting comfortable and trying to think about, God, what did we used to, we used to talk about so much stuff, and time has gone by, circumstances have changed, and there's no way it can't be the same. There's no such thing.
There's no such thing.
So
each episode has been different.
I don't, I have no idea where we're going.
Well, does anyone?
Well, I'm not. Yeah, that. So
that's a philosophy question right there.
Yeah, and one of the things I thought of, and I talked about, just before, is, rather than just have a completely formless get together, even though we might talk about it, there are no. What's the matter?
I'm just getting a little more comfortable.
Okay. No anchors.
Okay.
And if you don't have an anchor, I don't want to get too with sailing and all of that, but it's not cool.
Right. You end up Titanic. We just
when the end, it was like, what the fuck is it?
Right.
Who cares?
Right. Right.
So my idea, at least, and it just dawned on me because I was thinking about it, because I was really bummed about the first week, and I've never been bummed before. Was if I find a couple of pieces of news, I'll grab them and bring them with me.
Okay.
Right.
Just for talking points, and so that every podcaster, every show that I watch, some of them they just interview rappers, some of them interview entertainers, some of them interview random people, and they always have something that they're talking about as the clickbait to then bring the readers and the viewers and the watchers in. And a lot of the times with the rappers, it's who you're beefing with, or who's your baby mama, or this. I saw in the news that you got a new puppy and this and that. Then it's okay, let's talk about that. And then that opens up segues and leads you into other conversation topics.
Yeah. And, those kind of things, they tend to be what you call more personal than topical.
Yeah.
Right? And I could never imagine when we started doing this thing, this was going to be real. No, you know what I mean, but personal, it's
not a vlog. We're not here to vlog.
No, well, but some of that stuff. It's because I can't imagine why anybody would give a shit.
There's people out there that care, but those are super fans. People who want to know the size of your booty hole and all that shit.
Why? Okay. We'll cut that out.
Tell the producer.
Yeah.
The guys.
So I mean, I do. Oh, and look, I also had. This is great. I wrote. So I picked a couple of stories.
Okay.
But then on one of them, I figured, like to save paper, I wrote, like, I have to go to Costco later, so I got to get meds, blueberries, oranges,
And grain. Grain? What kind of grain? Rice?
It's ancient.
Quinoa?
Well, they call it ancient, which is such a joke. It's called ancient grain. It's some Kirkland grain thing, but pretty decent.
Like oatmeal type?
No, hard.
Okay.
It's a like a hard grain.
Okay.
In clusters.
Okay.
But fuck that, I don't.
Let's get it. Are we doing the intro anymore on any other shows, or should I get back to it? All the people who've never been here before, this is Foster and Feinstein, where we talk about any and everything under the sun. This is a weekly podcast and a YouTube show. Even though we're taking a year off to do life things, we're back and we're here trying to hit you with some thought-provoking, raw and unedited information, as well as just a little bit of
Repartee.
Yeah, reporting on what's going on in the world, keeping you posted. Keeping you updated on what's going on around us, maybe here in Hawaii and as well as the rest of the world. So we appreciate you watching. Hopefully you watch it all the way through. And like I always ask, if you enjoyed this, please give us a like, a thumbs up. It helps the algorithm. And then share this with as many people as you think will be interested in it. And make sure you subscribe if you haven't already. Hit that bell, ding, 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 ding. But without any further ado, welcome back to the Foster and Feinstein Show. I'm Foster, and this is
Feinstein.
Hey, we're here, we're back, and we're about to dig into some news and just give you guys a little bit of entertaining twist on whatever we come up with.
Yeah, that was cool. I like that. That was very nice.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
I'm a natural.
I think we were we up to like 1,000?
Subscribers?
Yeah.
Yeah, we hit 1,000
we did,
subscribers.
right?
Yep.
We did.
Yep. And we appreciate each and every one of you. Hopefully, let's kick some goals this year to try to get to the next 2,000, and then what goes after that, who knows, man. But we plan on doing this for a while, and so we would really appreciate your viewership, and we look forward to entertaining you guys.
Yeah.
What you got for me today, baby?
Okay, this is really interesting.
Okay.
And I'm going to spare like it's a news thing, who it came from and all that shit.
Okay.
But
we don't need sources.
No, I don't need to know. Fuck that. This is fucking mind blowing. Okay, between 1978 and 2022. Okay. Executive compensation went up over 1,200%.
Oh.
Wait. Okay. Worker compensation rose 15%.
So in layman's terms, that's meaning that the bosses got a 1,200 plus raise since 1978, and then the worker bees got 15% raise since 1978. And that's crazy discrepancy.
But it's like, and nobody thinks that's fucked up. For some, you could say people do, but when you look at it, it's almost like we're talking about like outer space, and it's such a huge difference to even compute. Well, how many times? Well, I'm glad you asked. This is really, where is it now? Oh, okay. This.
I like that laugh.
In the 350 largest publicly traded, blah, 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 these executives made 344 times more than the average worker. So that's 344 to 1, okay?
Right.
To give it some grounding, this in 1965, it was 21 to 1.
Oh, wow.
Okay? So 340 to 1 to like from that kind of a jump, and I don't know, for some reason it's not outrageous. You know,
I mean, think about it, right? The people are born into understanding that, well, not born, you're born into a family that teaches you that the American dream follows go to school, get good grades, get a job, retire at that job, get your pension, and get out. Now, with the structure of the way the world has went, a lot of people are getting these jobs and realizing that if I stay at this job, I'm going to be just over broke, J-O-B. But they're not even understanding how much the CEOs are making, how much the COO is making, how much the CFO is making. That's like private, privileged information.
It is, but
so how can they have outrage?
But these are publicly traded companies, so these figures are available. The UAW, which is now on strike with the three major automotive companies, over these kind of numbers, the unbelievable disparity.
Because they made a lot of profit during or after the pandemic.
No, it was something like in roughly 2007, 2008. Okay, the owners went to the workers and say, it's a bitch. We're having a really tough time. So the workers took a lower pay package to compensate, to do a favor to owners, because the owners were having a hard time.
Okay.
Since that time, these motherfuckers have made so much money, like those kind of numbers.
Well, what do you think the solution would be so that the masses would understand that they have the power to make this change happen, to fix that discrepancy, to fix that disparage between the haves and the have-nots, because that's what that's creating. It's creating a world in which 99% of the people, which is the workers, are going to evolve into having a lot less than what the 1% at the top have. But in history, it's always been like that. How do you fix this?
So, see, that's what. Before you, finished it by saying it's always been like this in history. It always has been like this in history.
Right.
So, and it's one of my favorites. That, we're not talking about something that's been done like a pattern, 2 or 3 times.
Right.
We're talking over the millennia.
Yeah.
From it's part of the nature of the human animal. For whatever reason, and it doesn't mean everybody,
Right.
but this idea.
It's people like, I'm gonna collect as many acorns as I can, and let me get some of your acorns too. Let me get some of yours.
And
you
generally,
got peanuts too.
Unless I'm mistaken, animals in general, they take what they need, and they're not into hoarding.
Right. Right.
Pretty much, you can always find,
So, since we can't fathom a lot of, when I say we, the human brain really can't fathom past 100 billion in a number sense. Do you think there should be a cap then on how much you can make? Because there's 100% a fact behind the fact that if you make $1 trillion, you can't even spend that money in your lifetime.
What I don't think personally you should ever remove the incentive for individuals to
Enterprise.
do extraordinarily well. I think that to me should never be an issue. At the same time, you gotta pay to play.
Pay to play.
So if you have, it blows my mind. Social Security, that's always going broke. Once they've withdrawn up to like 140,000 of your annual salary, they stop withdrawing. So you have thousands of millionaires, right? Who it stops for them. Then as well. So it's like a flat tax. And the fat cats, you shitting me? They get through it in something like I read, a millionaire, it's paid in a month. They've got it, and for everybody for work, it's like it can be the whole year. It can be the whole year.
The millionaires and the billionaires probably won't even tap into their Social Security benefits at their end.
No, here's the deal though. They fucking take it. The point being with Social Security, to me, with Social Security, first of all, just keep taking it.
Yeah, just keep taking it.
It's a pittance for these fucking people.
Right.
So that's because it's Social Security. It's you're paying in to society.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
And you're doing really well. So let society benefit a little bit from that.
Let me ask you this then: what do you think would be the difference if the disparity changed, like overnight? If all of a sudden that 1,200% raise that the billionaires and the trillionaires received, let's say, was cut in half, and the leftover 600% was then divvied out to all of the workers, and all the workers became, let's say, millionaires or 100,000aires immediately overnight. How many of them you think will go back to work the next day? I know this is a financial literacy problem as well.
Well, I think you're.
I know you don't like hypotheticals.
It's science fiction.
Yeah.
Okay. And one of the things that makes it the fiction part of it is, man, there's no way of knowing.
There's no way of knowing.
And I'm not
You
being.
gotta live it, breathe it, see it, taste it.
For that to happen, they talk about with AI and computers. I'm not going to do an AI thing. That there's going to be more and more jobs of all kinds are going to be replaced by either computers, robots,
Right.
and that we will receive an annual salary
Okay.
for breathing,
Okay.
and we're not working.
Yeah.
There are no jobs.
Right.
It's all being handled.
Right. I mean, you got to think that's history repeats itself, right? There was a time and place where people didn't work, and they were parts of villages where they didn't necessarily have to hunt, they didn't necessarily have to fish, but they maybe had to knit the clothes, and they maybe had to do something. And then the elderlies and the ones who didn't have to do something benefited from the society or the collective. And if we go to that, and the robots are doing all the heavy lifting and the work, it's like the people that are getting paid, then are you getting paid so that you can live, or are you getting paid so that you can eat? Because there's a big difference there. If you have a house, there's only so many houses, so many land. I think that the way that we would have to divvy out and fix that problem is not charge for food, only charge for living expenses.
Well, first, here's the deal. It's never going to happen.
Food and drink.
The deal. Here's the deal. It's never going to happen.
Right.
Right. So, which makes it, in a sense, fun to talk about because it's inconsequential, because it's really hypothetical,
Right.
Based on how we have behaved.
In the past, yeah.
Ever not in the not
History
ever,
tells
since the beginning.
Since the beginning.
Okay.
Yeah. Since that apple was bitten.
But
by Eve.
yeah, well, I don't have to bring like sex into it.
Right.
But the first, well, I don't even know, a man or woman, the first person, the first whatever their name was pre-Neanderthal, whacked somebody over the head with their knuckles, whoop, because they wanted their food or something.
Right.
It's like, I'm not. I mean. The only thing is, we dress a lot better.
No, yeah. Same cotton though.
So there are some people in real expensive caves.
Luxurious cave. I have a quartz mine cave. I have a lanonite mine cave. I
got a bowling alley in mine. But that to me, it's just interesting that with time, and something I'm obviously more and more conscious of. Without doing
your
age
father
jokes.
time himself.
Well, no, without doing age jokes, because like doing age jokes would be like doing color jokes.
Right. Yeah.
So okay,
Right.
Clearly I'm old,
No, yeah,
and
right.
clearly you're an African American.
Actually,
Well, don't get.
we'll save that for another podcast.
Yeah, no, I don't. Yeah, get into the heritage. Well, how about in the most simplistic way possible? I'm white and you're black. That doesn't even matter if, in fact, I'm black and you're white.
Right.
But that's our skin
What you
color.
identify as, right? Like, yeah. So, please, chat. Let us know what your thoughts are on, the disparity in the finances from the CEO down to the workers, and what do you think you can do, or we as a whole can do to maybe help change that a little bit and get some more money in the pockets of the people who do all the work. We thank you and we appreciate you. Now, what's the next story?
Yeah, but by the way, my thing is we can't. That would be getting back to the.
I don't believe in can't.
Well,
I teach my son that too, because when he says he can't do something, I'm like, you just.
Well, that's one of the areas we get into trouble by thinking that we can actually do anything that we want when you look back over history and just look at what we have done. But not like once or twice.
Over and over again.
All the time.
Yeah.
No, not like all the time.
All the time.
And that's my thing. And I get the rap from a lot of people about what do we got?
I'll read the next one. I think this.
Don't read that part. That's my next story.
Okay. All hell the snail.
Oh yes. Yeah. Look at that.
Okay. So this is a cringy one because we've had an increase around the United States. I don't know if it's the globe necessarily, but there's been an increase in the United States for sure in fentanyl use and then fentanyl overdoses. It's a really scary thing. Fentanyl is one of those drugs where it's it's a super downer, and if you even touch it with your finger, it'll enter your body stream, your bloodstream, because the particles are so small that it can enter through your skin. What is that called? The skin barrier, without being injected or smoked or tasted, which is extremely scary. And that's why a lot of police. There's been cases where police pull somebody over. They had fentanyl in the car. The police didn't know it was fentanyl, and they just touched the substance and got high and had to be hospitalized because of it. And so now they take a lot of precautions and put on gloves and masks and stuff before they test out what it is. But out of 563 overdoses in San Francisco, overdose deaths in San Francisco this year, 456 of them have involved fentanyl. Damn, this is from the medical examiner's office. So
Yeah, this is not like bullshit.
this is not bullshit. This is
No.
in between August and January were the deadliest months, with 84 deaths each in both months.
No, what really got me, 3 a day.
3 people
so
a
you
day.
have, and we're not talking about
Holy
we're not talking about 3
fuck.
people getting COVID, which is, you know, we're talking about drug overdoses, and this is just in San Francisco.
Just people want to have a good time and get high, man.
Well, no,
don't
and-
get high, you get low.
No,
real
no.
low.
It-
in the
it-
dirt, if you take fentanyl. When I say low, like, let me get low. You get low.
Yeah, well, yeah,
Low. Like this.
underground. All right, come back.
I'm not here anymore.
Okay, what do I have to stab you in the chest? I have to stab you in the chest with something.
Narcan or
Narcan.
Yeah,
I think.
I gotta. You know what's crazy? A nurse came to my food truck recently. Shout out that nurse, and she gave me a couple cans of that Norcal, whatever you call or resuscitate the person that's overdosing. Because if you ever go past somebody or you see somebody look like they need some help, it's always a good tool to just have. And I was like, okay, thank you.
Now, one of the reasons why that got my attention, I've been on the fentanyl thing for,
You smoke fentanyl?
no, the news, fuck
Okay.
off, no, was because this is going on, and this is nothing. It doesn't give you really any idea of how incredible the epidemic is.
You know why the epidemic grows at such a rapid rate? Because you can make it anywhere. And it's so easy to create.
I'm not.
They're making it in the jungles of Mexico. And
Oh no, but you can't. But it's not like it's not like meth in there in your house. I mean, I remember reading a long time ago when I was on the trail. Huge manufacturer is China.
Okay. No, yeah, 100%.
Huge.
100%.
That has nothing to do with like
Well,
Mexico
the
and.
opioids in China have a symbiotic relationship over history. Like, back in the day, the poppy, it was one of the main things in Southeast Asia and everything, especially when the GIs were over there and fighting in Vietnam. They would get addicted to opioids over
Oh
there.
sure, but now fentanyl is a chemical. It's not a natural.
It's a fake opioid, yeah.
Yeah, it's fake.
It's a fake opioid. Synthetic.
Yeah.
For those.
But again, my thing with it, so this is going on, and we're still dicking around with marijuana.
As being a class.
Being a class, is it the class A or a class
Yeah.
1
Whatever the fuck.
schedule
Class. It shouldn't be scheduled or class.
with cocaine,
Yeah.
heroin,
Yeah. Yeah.
and
How crazy is that?
well,
2023.
you always have to wonder because I've always found just look the money, just look where the money is, and what I find curious is because of its class, they can't the legal growers and sellers can't use the banks.
That is changing. I've heard a couple of dispensaries being able to get access to certain banks and bank accounts now. But at first, it was a bunch of loopholes you had to jump through in order to set the bank account up. You got to move this and say that you're doing this and processing that.
And so you have that. Jesus Christ!
Leave weed alone, guys. As far as the legislative goes, take weed out of the equation. Let's try to crack down on this fentanyl craze. We do need to fix it. There's people that are getting hurt from it that aren't even trying to smoke or do fentanyl, and that's just crazy. You know what I mean? So let's do something about that. People in the chat, if you know anybody on fentanyl, try to get them some help. Maybe tell them to smoke heroin instead. Maybe.
I don't know. The drug. It's I don't know.
It's a hard pill to swallow. No
Yeah, I don't know
know.
what to do. And I wouldn't certainly waste my breath on the, the war on drugs. That
Right. Oh my God.
that idiocy.
That joke. That was a joke.
What was done,
That
or
shit locked up more black
the-
and brown people than anything ever in the world.
and the hand that the government had in armaments for guns in Central America and for heroin and all that crap.
Right.
But I don't know. But fentanyl is, I'm not sure what you can do, quite honestly, about it. I don't know.
It's here and it's here.
It's
to
almost
stay.
like it's this invisible thing.
Well, you got to think that the reason that a lot of the people, I'm not going to say any names, I would never say cartels or drug lords, but the reason that people switch to it as far as manufacturing it is that you get a lot more bang for your buck.
Oh, it's cheaper.
It's way cheaper. You can probably package something in your hand like that'd be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars versus these bricks by boat, and you got to pay this guy. And
So once again, it's always to me. Oh, it's money, honey.
money, baby.
So
money, honey.
Why it is this way, and there just doesn't seem to be any kind of a
And it's
groundswell to do something about it. But again, there's
maybe we can create a vaccine to make us immune to fentanyl.
no.
Would you
that,
take it?
No, that's another one of them science fiction things.
But no, dude. Because think about it. When I was in the military, they gave me a 7 series anthrax shot. So if I ever came in contact with anthrax, I guess the thought was, I don't know if it was true or not, but I definitely got the shot. So maybe the anthrax running through my veins. But if I was to ever come in contact with anthrax, that I would be immune to it. That I wouldn't die on the spot if I huffed some anthrax. So why can't that same thing be applied to a synthetic drug? Give me a 7 series methanol shot, and I can.
Well, hey, listen. As
shot.
far as I know, and I'm sure I had probably come a long way, but when they were with heroin, it was methadone, and methadone it ain't no bundle of yucks either. So it was like.
I look at it because venom, right? Snake venom, you can become immune to it over a bunch of tiny little doses. I don't know.
I don't know. I don't think there's an easy way to deal with addiction. Everything.
The addiction to money, the addiction to drugs.
Well, I mean, everything about it is hard.
Yeah. Because it's a psychological component.
And breaking. I admire people who
break the habits.
Who break. Well, God no, boy, I got a laundry list of fucking habits. And
we all got our vices, right?
Yeah, well, no, I mean, habits are, and anything at all, Jesus, what the side of the bed you sleep on is a habit.
Right. I just recently slept on the other side of the bed for the first time in a long time.
See?
That was kind of...
Another one of my faves is how people eat an ear of corn.
Okay.
All right? Yeah. I'm a typewriter.
You? I'm not. I'm a freaking just I bite it and I'll bite it in a different place all over. It's like, I don't have
so
to
you don't have a
it.
pattern?
No.
You don't have a corn pattern?
It's crazy too because my wife, she has a pattern how she eats burgers. She eats it around in a circle.
But so many people have food.
Yeah.
It's like,
I didn't even think about that.
Oh God, yeah.
So
how are we with time, by the way?
Oh shit. We're about 30 minutes in.
Oh really?
Yeah, we can. Want to hit the next story, or you want to close it out?
Well, really quick. I won't even do the actual thing.
Okay.
This is a story about a large Italian gas and oil corporation.
Conglomerate.
Yeah.
Gas giant.
And they found that in the early 70s, there were internal documents that indicated that their findings were that oil and gas pollution was contributing to global warming.
Okay.
This is one company. ExxonMobil did it around that same time, the late 60s. Their own people came up with documents. My only point in getting that is because these are the guilty people, and if the guilty people are actually saying in their findings they're contributing to global warming, when people say in terms of global warming, oh, it's a hoax or whatever it may be, and it's this kind of plot, which people are entitled to their opinion. But when you have the perpetrator of the crime
Right.
saying,
I
did it. So then how could, because, people claim, it's bullshit, it's, it's woke or whatever the fuck it may be. So I didn't want to get into that argument.
I'm on the fence about that.
But when you have, it's the same thing as fucking tobacco, man. The tobacco companies, their own science was,
Right.
it was lung cancer.
Yeah, 100%.
And they buried it. The cars, the electric car was killed in the 60s by the automotive companies.
Yeah.
On and on. Money, honey.
Speaking of electric car,
Anyway.
just to change subject, sorry, because now that we're on oil and gas, did you hear about that lithium vein that they found in America?
Yes, I forget where it is.
Somewhere in Nevada or somewhere
I think
in the
Nevada,
south,
yeah.
or the desert, the southeast or
Yeah.
southwest, I mean. I don't know, but does that mean that, because that was one of the arguments to say that, that's why electric cars are so expensive and how we're fucking over parts of Africa by using the mines and having children and poor people mine this lithium and this ion, all this stuff that they were doing. Now that we found a lithium vein in America, does that mean, one, that the electric cars are going to be cheaper because we have closer access to the natural resources, or two, that there's going to be child labor in America now?
Well, we have. There were so many incidents of child labor in the meatpacking industry, like
Forget about
Wisconsin. No, they're 12, 13-year-old kids. It's actually legal for teenagers to work in those places
It's legal,
in some
it's legal
states.
if your parents gives you a waiver.
No,
or
in some
signs of
states,
labor.
no, because it's a dangerous job.
Yeah, you got
But,
sharp tools and things.
I don't, we could go on, which is the good thing because.
That's what we do it
But
for.
yeah, we can. It's not like we're going to ever run out of stuff.
Right.
On the contrary, it's oh shit, we better stop because.
I mean, we might run out if the power grid goes down. Then we got to write our thoughts down to remember, and if the power grid ever comes back up, we might can record again.
Yes.
Fairy tale shit, right?
All right.
Blue skies, green grass. Let's keep it in the middle, baby.
We should go.
We should go?
Yeah.
All right. Well, appreciate y'all for watching us. Hopefully you were entertained, and hopefully actually you were educated as well. But that's all we got for Foster and Feinstein. Like I said, make sure you hit the subscribe, the like button, and you share this with as many people that you think will find interested in it. That's all we got. Foster and Feinstein, over and out.
Peace and love.
Peace and love.